So I started playing Lara Croft Go from the same makers of Hitman Go, and damn is it good. Not only does it look great, that's the first thing that caught my eye, it plays really great as well. The thing is, it's a puzzle platformer on Android and iOS. You can pick it up right now, it's $5. What the heck, just do it. It's really, really good. And it's good because of a couple of things. So the way they teach you how to play the game is really, really smart. So first, you're just swiping through the levels, moving Lara as she goes. And in that case, it kind of reminds me of Monument Valley in that way. You kind of navigate through the level and try to get to the other side. But what they do is really smart. They introduce enemies and different gameplay mechanics. So something like a crumbled piece of terrain, it looks, kind of blocky, kind of shattered, I guess. If you walk over it, it's going to crumble, and then if you walk over it again, it's going to completely break apart and make a sinkhole, and then if you walk over it that second time, Laura's going to die. In the future, you learn that you can actually lead enemies into this, and then it will act as a trap. So if you walk over it once, it will crumble, and then if you have an enemy chasing you, it'll fall into the hole, which is actually pretty smart. And speaking of enemies, they have a couple of different types, and first off, you start with snakes, and if you walk in front of the snake, it's going to kill you, so you end up having to navigate around the snake and approaching it from the side or from the rear so that Lara can shoot it. Later on, there are lizards that actually, if they see you from a tile away, they're going to start following you. And what they do is they actually follow you step by step. So this makes a really interesting sort of puzzle in itself. And eventually you sort of have to navigate around these guys and use the traps, basically. You actually have to use like the crumbling map traps, I guess is what I'm going to call them, to make them fall, or you can surprise them from the side again. Eventually you get something like a spear and you can throw them at these enemies from a couple of tiles away, and that actually helps a lot. Otherwise, the gameplay is fairly standard fare. I think it borrows a lot from Monument Valley, where you have to go around, hit levers, but it never feels overwhelming. I guess that's what the point is. The point I'm trying to make is that it never feels overwhelming. They introduce each mechanic in a very nice pace. So when you feel like, okay, this gameplay mechanic is getting kind of boring, they introduce a new one. It's just so fluid in its motion and the way it looks and feels. It makes it a really, really great handheld game. These are the type of games that I like to play on my phone. I am not a huge fan of endless runners or Angry Bird style or tower defense games, but this is something that I'm really into right now, and I spent like 2 hours playing it last night when I downloaded it. It's really good. It's $5. Get it on the Android Play Store. Get it on the Apple App Store. Why not? That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do a full review on this guy, but highly recommended it if you wanted a fun game, a smart game to sort of waste your time on the bus or on any commute, on the train, whatever. It's Lara Croft Go. It's a really good puzzle platformer. Again, my name is Billy with Be A Byte. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, tell us how we did or how you liked it, or tell us about your Lara Croft Go experience in the comments below. Otherwise, for much more on Lara Croft and all things Tomb Raider and video games and geek culture, you're already at the right place. Be ya!